awesome, folks. How's it going? Hi, Fazan. Welcome back. Hi, Jati. Hey, Insha. Hello, Arman. I see a lot of y'all are back. That is so awesome. I agree, Zainab. It is very satisfying. I've been a little sick, folks, which is why I had to cancel my stream yesterday. And I don't know how many of the future ones I'm actually going to take. But this one, because it's a holiday today, I thought, you know what, I can stretch myself a little. Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. Just a little bit of cough. But I am supposed to travel soon, so I'm a little concerned. But it's okay. This always makes me feel better. So I'm ready, super, hyped to be here. Uh, I'm not in my garage. I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, I'm not there. This is actually my maker space. And I don't like the angle today. It's usually much better. So you can see I have flyers here. I have my Alexa here as well, which plays tunes when I work on that side. Tour of my maker space. Show y'all what I'm making as well. So I love playing with glass. So y'all can see this is all glass. And I'm trying to, then integrate glass with my electronics. So there's copper tape and multimeter. I'm pretty sure I had pedals that I had copper taped as well somewhere, but for later. Hi Suraj, welcome to the stream. Alright folks, so since I've already established that I am not feeling great and I definitely don't feel like talking much, let's dive right in. Alright, so we're going to do a very simple touch designer tutorial that even I learned recently. Alright, and then we're going to take our time to play with it. Right, so we're going to first do the simple thing. Everyone can post their pictures on Discord, and then we will, play around with it like we did last time, and let's see how many of us can create unique creations. Yes, I mean everyone will, but let's colors, noise, and things like that. Alright. Hi Ash, welcome back. Yes, I am a little sick. A little sick, but that's okay, Ash. You can always watch the live stream later, and I'm expecting you to post your picture on Discord anyway once you're done. But that is awesome. I am so glad so many of y'all are here on a Saturday morning, afternoon. But then again, we're not exactly early sleepers, so works. Alright, folks, let's jump right in. So, I'm gonna ask y'all to download and install Touch Designer. Um, it might be a little RAM heavy. I I just couldn't talk yesterday morning. I woke up good time for the stream, like a few hours before the stream. And I'm like, yeah, I can't talk. So I had to cancel yesterday. But let's see how the future streams go. Okay, so I'm gonna ask y'all to install Touch Designer. Let me quickly share my screen and show y'all how you'll get Touch Designer. I'm gonna present my screen very quickly. Let's hope I do not forget to add the screen to my stream. There we go. Awesome. So here's where I'm going to go. So I'm going to go to derivative.ca. So derivative.ca. And while it loads, y'all can go ahead and search for Touch Designer. Even that will give you results that we want. So this is where you land. Alright, so Touch Designer, you all can go into downloads. So I'll show you where to find it. There's a download right here. So there you go. Get it now. Click on get it now. And it will take you here. And when you click on Windows download, it's gonna ask you to sign in. Just go ahead, get an account. Oh, it started downloading directly, which is great. So I'm gonna cancel the download for me, but because I already have it. But just click on Windows and you should. Yes, it is slightly heavy. I agree, but it's totally worth it. I promise. It's gonna be a lot of fun for you all to. You all have seen it, right? If you all joined the low code, you all know it's pretty cool. So go ahead, download it. Until then, I'm gonna open my Touch Designer and kind of walk you all through, this basic stuff we'll be using and how you all can play around with it. Again, I'm fairly new to it myself, so if you all find something new and something cool, do let me know. Oh, Arman, that's sad. I don't know how I can make your life easier. Can I compress it and send it to you somehow? Wi-Fi. Hmm. That's sad indeed. Oh, is it exactly 1.9 GB? It is indeed. Yeah, that's sad. Oh, well, I was trying to think of ways that we can make it easier for you, Arman. And I'll see if I can compress it somehow and make it available to you. Alright? That's my homework for today. I'll do that. But until then, if you all are able to, I think there's a web UI as well for Dash Designer. Let me see if I can find it. Mm, no. You can create web UIs using Dash Designer, but you can there's no. That's sad. That's sad indeed. Oh, you missed nothing. We're just downloading Dash Designer. That's nice. Yes, you can. You can download it in parts, or you can just because I think 1.5 GB is unlimited high speed data, right? After that, you still have data. It's things Anil. I'm still not sure if it's that Zainab who joins my stream or are you a new person. I would love for you to confirm. They're like returning hackers. Yeah, awesome. Let's go there. Alright, so I'm gonna open Dash Designer. If you all are following along, you all know the drill. Just let me know that you all are following along, and I will wait for you all. All right, Faizan. I hope you're downloading it as well, the Dash Designer. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing screen, and I'm gonna share my Dash Designer. So Windows. All right, I cannot find it. Found it. That's all right. That's all right. No worries, Rati. We'll wait for you. All right. So I'm just gonna walk you through the different components, and whenever you're ready, uh, switch my network. All right. All right. So this is what we looked at before as well. So you all can see there's a lot of things that are happening here. This is basically what we're going to do today as well. Basically something similar. We're going to take a object. We're going to add some noise to it. We're going to create a translation based on that, and then give the output to our display, right? So we saw last time what was happening. So if I were to display this, you can see, and I'll play this. This is what's happening. Now what we can do is we can always split screen, and we can remove the display from here and keep it here. And from here, we can remove this. Alright, so this is where we have the editor. And over here, we do have the editor too. Let me remove that display. Delete this. Alright, so that's how we start. We're basically going to delete everything on the screen, okay, before we start. Hi there, welcome to the stream. Okay, let's see what we do. Okay, there's a ton of delay for me, so apologies, folks. Y'all are waiting for the download to complete. Is that what you're waiting for, Teba? Oh, you're waiting for the stream. That's so sweet. Thank you, Teba. Awesome. Great. So let's get started, right? So now this touch designer, you all can see there's a lot happening on the screen. So I'm going to clear it out. I'm going to remove the palette because we'll be using a different method to access the palette. You all can see there's no operator selected, which is great. This is our display panel, right? So I'm going to go ahead, click on display, and over here I only want display that and nothing else. I'm going to go ahead. That's perfect. What did I do? Display. I do not. Yeah, I did screw something up. Never mind. I'm gonna split my screen again. Go here. Go to. Alright, I'm gonna pause this. Let it stop starting for a bit. And over here, you can see now I have a big screen. This is the viewer. This is where I'm gonna add my components, right? My nodes, right? So over here, go on this place and click tab. Over here, you will get a multiple options to add things, right? So let's have a look, right? So you have a lot of things. These are your basically compositions. So your 3D objects, panels, dynamic, basically, your lighting and things. You all can adjust this here. Then you have your top, which is your basic operators, right? So you have your depth, difference, feedback. We'll be using feedback a lot. Then we have different colors that you all can do this math that is obviously super useful. Then we have your chops, which is again, basically your audio in, audio out. This is where the nodes you use when you're making audio reactive stuff, right? So you will basically do an audio in from here. Then you have surface operators we'll be using today. So let's start by adding a circle. Alright, so we'll be using a circle. Again, go here, click on tab. We'll also be using a lot of noise. So let's add noise. And we'll basically be using a ton of things. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to add a material right here. And let's see, material, constant material sounds good. Alright. And before that, I'm also going to go here and add an output. So let's see where we have output. Think we're going to go ahead and search out. There we go. Alright, so we have it out that goes right in the end, and we'll start with the circle. We'll have noise here. The constant material will also go here, and that's your basic composition. Alright. If you all are following along, let me know. I'm happy to wait here so that you all can add your components to the screen. We'll then be connecting them one by one. Alright, what we'll also be doing after this is we're going to take a geometrical scaling component. So we'll take a geo, let's see, geo, SOP, faster, top, so we're going to get geo, right, so we're going to add geometry right here. Don't change any settings just yet, alright. Once geometry is added, what we're going to do is we're also going to use the render. So tab, search for render. It's an SOP that we want render. just render. And after render, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a feedback loop. So we're going to add a transform, then create a feedback, have a level 1, and then transform again. All right. So let's start with tab, feedback. So SOP, material jobs. There we go. So level. So level. Then we're going to have a transform. So tab, transform. Alright, and we need one more transform to transfer the entire from the feedback loop. So tab, transform again, and we'll let that in. Alright, so these are all the components we'll be using, and we'll be using them in nodes. So basically, we'll be connecting them as per our requirement. But all have done right now is basically add the components. I have not done anything until you all tell me that you all are on the same page. So if anyone's following along, let me know. You all need to download Touch Designer. Let me send the link to you all. So this is where you go to download Touch Designer. Hi Mahira, welcome to the stream. Alright, so we're doing Touch Designer, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'll be making some very cool stuff around here. So join in, right? So I'm gonna give you all a minute to either. It's okay, Rati. I'll wait for you now. If you want, I'll be redoing all the components adding as well in case anyone else is following along, and we'll redo it. All right. This was just to kind of show you all what all exists. So you all can see I used multiple operating types to uh, add components, right? So that's all I really wanted you all to see. So we'll be creating a feedback loop here. So we'll have a render. Render will go to feedback. Feedback will have a level 1, a transform, and a circular loop happening here, and the last transform will go to output. Alright, so we'll do it nice and we'll pace ourselves, so don't worry. Once you're done installing, let me know. And if anyone else is following along, let me know. We can definitely wait and make sure everyone's on the same page. Alright, but how's everyone doing otherwise? It is a Saturday. How has GHW been for you all until we wait for other people to come on the same page? If you all are just watching the stream and not following along for the time being, feel free to chat, you know. And you all are always welcome on stream if you want to come and talk. I'm so glad to hear that, Myra. Did you make something yet in GHW? Did you complete something? Absolutely. I'll re-add them as we go. I'll add them all from scratch. All right? Don't worry. That is awesome, Arman. I'm glad you are having fun as well. Ooh, you did some challenges. That is so cool. You know how ironic it is that I've been conducting GHWs for almost a year now, and I do not have a single piece of GHW or LHD swag. I do not have a single sticker. I'm actually planning to participate, you know, maybe in the next GHW myself and maybe get myself some swag. You know, us coaches don't get swag if we don't participate either. That is so cool. I would love to see them. If you want, go ahead and post them in Discord, in the Social Good channel. I would love to have a look at it. That is so cool. I'm so glad, Maida, you've done most of the challenges. I'm so sorry about that East reflection. Yeah, that happens. It won't be long. Like, you know, last a couple of days once you email them, so you're good. You'll be good to go soon. That is so cool, Rati. You completed the website. I would love to have a look at the website. I think you all create such amazing stuff at GHW. Yeah, my internet's a little slow, so there's a lot of delay in the comments being displayed. But awesome. So Rati, are you done with the installation? So if you all hear the noise today, it's because the fan in my laptop's again going off on full speed. But yeah, it'll get better soon. Awesome! Rati is done, and I know Mahira is waiting for. No, Zareen is waiting for the components, right? So I'm going to start adding the components all over again. Alright, so you all can follow nice and easily. Alright, so don't worry about it at all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, click, uh, select all, and delete everything. Okay, and we restart everything. Okay, so let's go to our touch designer right here, CTRL-A, delete. Alright. So okay, what I did initially was I went on my top panel and clicked on the split screen, right? So when I did a split screen, it did this, alright, and now it's flipped it. But so this is your normal layout, and I went ahead and did the split screen. On the split screen on the right side, you all can do it on whichever side you all are comfortable in. Over here, I went and did a top viewer. Alright, let me know when you're on the same page. So a top viewer. Alright, I'm gonna go and see. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do not compromise on your sleep, folks. It's very important to, and I've learned this the hard way, like I do most things. Do not compromise on your sleep. Okay. So perfect. So let's go. So now if you have set up your screen, that is top viewer on the one side and your pane layout on the other. So if you go here and see what it is, it's basically your network editor. Okay, this is what we have over here. On this side, if there's something over here, a palette, you can click a cross on it and it will go away. Right? You'll have a palette here. You can close it. You don't need that. All right. On my left side again, what I'm going to first do is I'm going to click tab. I'm going to go on my standard operators and I'm going to click on circle. Alright, circle. Alright, I'm going to make some changes here. Right. So first I want it to be an open arc based circle. Alright. I don't want a lot of divisions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the divisions at least 500. Alright. And my radius can be around 0.8. So I'm going to go ahead and make the radius 0.8. Alright. Now I'm going to leave this thing on for another minute in case you all are following along. So the touch player is basically if you make this and then you want to, see how it looks like, you all can use the touch player to play it. You all can also use touch designer to make proper animations. So if I go into my touch designer right now, right here, right over here, you can see there's something called the animation editor. So I can make like proper frames and everything and then use the touch player to view it. Right? But I want my top viewer here. Right? Make sense? Alright, so first we've added the circuit and these are the parameters that you all want. Alright. Whenever you all are ready and have added this component, let me know. What we're going to do next is we're going to add noise. Alright. So let me go here. I click here, tab, and I want noise. So there we go. Noise. Now remember you can just zoom in and out by using your cursor key. So if you have a mouse, just use this to kind of zoom in and out. Alright. So you can just drag it around. It's fairly simple. I know this can be a tad bit of an issue. And initially, since we're not using the screen, I'm going to make it a lot smaller so that I can view my network editor properly. There we go. Right, so I can make this big now and we'll view this later anyway. Alright, so there we go. That's okay, you won't see it right away. It's okay, don't worry about it. Oh, you don't see the option division? You probably want to make sure that it is an open arc type. So go here, let's click on circle again, and over here make sure it's open arc and division is right here. And if you still don't see it, make sure that you went to the blue component, right? The standard operators and then chose circle here. Serene, did that help? sorry, folks. My internet completely bailed on me. I hope I'm audible now. Alright, is my screen visible? Perfect. So if you all made any, sent any comments or anything in the chat in the past 1 minute, I haven't received it, so please send it again. Alright. I'm glad I'm audible and visible again. And Zainil, did we fix your problem? Did you get the right component? Remember, over here, click tab on the blue, right? The standard operators bar. Come here and click on the dark blue circle. If you do that, you should ideally see divisions right here. If you're not sure, over here, if you click on the red dot right over here, if this is all you can see, just click on the red the dot on the right corner, and you should be able to see the divisions and all the different options. I'm going to wait for you to reply. Okay. Alright, once you've added noise, what we're going to do, so what we're doing here is we're taking the circle and then we're adding some noise to it, right? So we're going to basically deform the circle, alright? And now what we're going to do is, to the noise, we're going to add some geometry, alright? So, tab, remember when we got a geometry, so I'm going to search for geometry, and I think it's in comp, so I'm going to go here and add geometry, alright? So, alright, this is what, again, I'm not going to make any changes here just yet, alright, because remember, I'm only adding components right now. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a render to my geometry. Okay, so here, tab, and I think my render is in purple. So I'm going to go here, search for render. What did I do? There's a tab, render. There we go. So that's my render. Alright. Zenil, Rati, are we on the same page? I know those two are following. Mahira, what about you? Are you following along by any chance? Alright, so we have render. Alright, don't worry about the warning just yet. We'll be fixing that. Okay. After the render, remember what we were going to do? We were going to add a feedback loop, right? So I'm going to go ahead and over here, tab and add a feedback. So, feedback, right there. Alright. So the feedback, remember what we were going to add? Level. So we're going to go here, add a level right here. So render goes to feedback, goes to level. Alright. So that's a lot of stuff that we already added. Now over here, what we're going to do is we're going to add a transform. Alright. I'll explain what everything is doing in just a minute, but I first want you all to add all the components. Alright. So over here, transform. Alright. So right here to here. Sounds good? That's our first transform. Okay, remember now this is a loop, right? So what I want to do is I want to create a loop in which there are two inputs. Alright, so I'm going to add a composite and kind of compose them together, right? So tab, composites, I think that's in the blue. So there we go, it's purple itself. Okay, so now remember I can take two inputs in this. So first I'm going to take my original input, right, which is my render, right? My first render goes in, and then my transform is going to be my second input. Alright, so this is my second input. Alright, there we go. This is our first composite. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the composite back to my feedback. So in my feedback, the target top you see here, I'm going to drag and drop this over here. Does that make sense, folks? Sure, Rati. Which component name do you want? Alright, so I'm going to walk you through every component that I have used over here. Alright, so first we have our circle. Okay, then we have our noise. Alright, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add a camera here later, but I'm not too worried about it right now. Okay, then I have my geometry. Alright, I have my render. Okay, Am I audible, Radhi? Are you following along? Alright, so I'm just waiting for you to reply if you have added it. Alright. So from render it goes to feedback. Alright. So feedback over here. Then we have added a level. Okay. So if you click on level, this is what we're at. Okay. Then we have a transform. Okay, so that's our first transform. Remember, we'll be transforming twice. Okay, this is the first transform. Then we have a composite, right? Basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking it in a loop, right? So then after that, because we want a nice moving shape, we're going to add the loop back to the first input. All right, and over here we're going to have a second transform, right? So tab transform. All right, and this will get connected to our output. All right, does that make sense, folks? Let's go here. Not outside, output. So tab and out. All right. Folks, does that make sense? Thank you so much, Ati. Exactly that. Yes, exactly. Perfect. Alright, so if you all want, I'll walk you through the components again, but this is the basic setup. We'll be changing a lot of things now as we go. Alright, so now one more thing I'm going to add here. So I'm going to add a camera. So I'm going to go here, tab, comp, camera. Alright, so camera. And now my camera is going to get connected to my, well, it's automatically gotten connected to my render. Alright, but I also want it connected to my, no, that's it. That's all. I do not want it connected anywhere else. I've added a couple of other things in my own map, but that's not necessary. And I don't want you to confuse you all. Okay, so cool. We have our basic network ready. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a couple of parameter changes. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit play here. So y'all can see what's happening, right? There's a circle. The circle is being distorted with noise here. Then it's becoming this. Then we have a render happening. Let's display this. Okay. Then the render is going into feedback. Level 1. Transform. Composition. Transform 2. And then there's an output. Alright. Does that make sense, folks? Alright, so now you all can see nothing's happening here. That's because there's no material that I'm given. Alright, so what I'm going to do is to my geometry here, I'm going to add a material. Alright, so I'm going to go to material, I'm going to add a constant material. Alright, tab, material, constant right here, and I'm going to give it to my render. So I'm not going to connect it, I'm just going to drag and drop it. Alright, and there we go. So you can see now there's something that started forming here as soon as I added the material, right? Does that make sense, folks? Now we'll be making changes to our different components. How can I help you, IamBot? How can I help you understand it better? Okay, that's okay. It's okay. You learn more by playing around. So this is our basic setup. Once we set it up, I'm going to give you a good amount of time to play around with it. Okay? Okay, right. So we have our feedback happening here, our render one. Now let's look at feedback. We have feedback coming from comp1. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my comp1 and you'll see that there's an operation happening multiply. I don't want multiply. I want add. Because remember, multiply is basically gonna, the operation basically, it's blending. If you all have ever used another software, you all will see it's kind of a blend, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on add. So you can see now there has, this stuff started forming here. Over here, I'm going to go click on top viewer. This should ideally get display. So I'm going to go ahead, click on display. And I'm going to remove the display from here. Alright, so this is our display. Right, I'm just going to click on this again and hope that it switches. There we go. don't like this at all. Let's make this my top viewer. And let me go and click on output again, and I'm going to display the output. So to display it, you see this blue dot here, that's what you click on. Alright, I'm going to remove my backdrop tops. Alright, there we go. This is much better. I like this. Alright, perfect. So now you can see there's a lot of there's a lot of white it's too thick, right? I don't want that. I want it to be a little more netty over here. That's okay, Yash. I'm sure you'll follow along later and make something much cooler. This is actually from a tutorial that I followed myself, and I have seen so many. This is the easiest that I found. That it's a great way to get started. So Zenny and Rati did that for us. These are all the components. If you're having a little trouble keeping up, you can either ask me to slow down. I'm happy to walk you through every component one by one. Or you can open the stream on YouTube on the MLA channel. There you can always keep going back and forth between the live version and what I've already said. Alright, but here's for you, I'm going to cover all the components again. Alright, so let's start with our first component. We have the circle, then we have the noise, right? So you can see the circle is being deformed by the noise. Then we have a geometry. We're adding some geometry to it. We're rendering this geometry. Okay? In render, we can add material. So in geometry, we added material which gets rendered here. Over here, we're creating a feedback loop. So you see these multiple circles that are happening. What we're doing is we're using a composite to first take our original input, then send it through a feedback loop. Alright, we're transforming it here. You'll see how you can play around with these in a bit, and then we're giving it to the output. The output I'm then displaying by using the blue button right here. Alright, the components in my feedback loop. Alright, the components in my feedback loop are feedback 1, right? So from render, I go to feedback 1. Don't worry about the 1, it's basically the variable name, so it takes a 1 automatically. So first you have feedback, then you are level, giving it a level. Alright, and then over here you're transforming it and then giving it to the composite. Now we won't be playing with this transform a lot just yet because this is just for you to play around later. But what we will be doing is we'll be making changes to the feed level 1 here. Alright? So whenever you all are ready, let me know. I will continue this further. Zenny, did that help? Alright. Take your time. Let me know whenever you're missing out on something. Otherwise, later we'll go over it over and over again until you get it right. Okay? Don't worry about that. Okay? Alright. So I'm going to be making changes to my level 1 here. Alright. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be where's my dash design now? There we go. Right? So first of all, I am on pre. Right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into post. Okay? Over here, I'm going to be making multiple changes. First of all, there's opacity that I want to change. Not much, but just enough to be able to see the net form, right? So I'm going to go here and go into point, maybe 9.5, right? And if I play, you see that there's a difference, right? There's a nice netty shape happening. Maybe I want it a little more. So I'm going to make it slightly more opaque. There we go. I like this. I'm going to leave it at 0.983. Alright, then I'm going to change the alpha. I'm going to do this alpha. Alright, I like that. I like, you can see it's a little more visible, right? Awesome. So that is the changes that I've made here. Make sure that the comp one here is your target TOP right here, and then I'm going to go into transform. Alright. In my transform also, I'm going to make some very tiny changes. Right. So I'm going to change the scale. Not much, but just a little. So I'm going to make it 0.99. So you can see how much it changed, right? By just changing it a little bit. Over here also, I'm going to make the same thing. 0.99. You'll see how amazing that became. And you know what? Now I want it to be slightly more opaque. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to my level 1 again and maybe make this a little more opaque. I like this. I love this, right? I like now you can, based on how you scale it, you can see that now it's becoming a tunnel-like effect. You can go back to your transform, and play around with it a little, right? So if I go for 9.5 here, you can see how much it changed. So I think 9.5 is a bit much, so I'm going to go with 9.7. I like it a little better, so over here also I'm going to make it 9.7 so that it's nice and circular. Alright, and I'm going to go back to my opacity and change it back to 9.5 and see how that looks. Yep, I like this better. And maybe over here I'm going to go for 9.8. Yep, I love this. 9.8. There we go. Okay, this is good. Alright, so I am happy with this. Okay. Now, I do not want to rotate it because it's anyway a circle, it's not going to make much of a difference. And that's it. This is cool for me. I like this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my composite, again check if it's add, which is great, which is perfect. Now, I want to change the color of this. So, I'm going to go into my constant here. Okay, constant. I'm going to change the color. I like a nice shade of blue. So, I'm going to go with blue. And I'm not happy with its movement, right? The movement isn't very visible. So I'm going to go into my noise. Now I'm going to start playing around with the noise, okay? So let's see what happens when I increase the period, okay? What about roughness? So you can see it's changing here, right? I'm going to increase the offset. The offset made a lot of difference. So I'm not going to change the offset. Let's increase the amplitude. You see this change is happening. They're not very visible. So I'm going to go back to my level 1 and increase its opacity. And maybe change the brightness even. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and maybe make the gamma level too bright. So just that bit. I like this a little better. Right, so this is fun. Cool. Now I'm gonna go back to my noise and maybe change the seed level as well. So there we go. This is fun. But now you all can see I've made so many changes and I'm basically just playing around with it. Now it's up to you how you want to, keep this. So I'm going to go here and change the exponent as well. You can see how changes are happening, right? But yeah, this is pretty much it, folks. Exactly. And yeah, this is one way to create it. I'll show you another version that I've created that I like slightly better. Okay. But yeah, you all get the point, right? So you can make some very cool stuff with it. I honestly like the first white version better, so I'm just gonna hit a couple of CTRL-Zs until I get back that version. I actually like this a lot. Yeah, I love this version where it has the perimeter moving a lot. So I'm gonna hit another couple of CTRL-Zs. I love this version, right? I absolutely love this version. So I'm gonna go back and over here, change the color. And maybe dark blue better. Yeah, I like this better. And what I'm going to do is, in the noise, now I'm going to go and play again and maybe increase the period a little. And over here, I can also change this, right? I can play around with this. And the noise type basically changes, right? Then there's something called alligator, random. This becomes slightly still though. So this looks pretty. I'm going to leave it at this. I like this one. So this is what I'm going to leave this at. So the thing is, if it's taking Geo2, that means there's somewhere Geo1 node lying around. 1, 2 is basically the variable name, right? So it's like, hello 1, hello 2, the more the same you add. So just if you want suggestion, just open a new touch designer or just hit CTRL-A delete. That way it will delete any nodes that you have. And then if you don't find Geo1, you'll be able to find Geo1. But you'll also have to add all the other components again, which I'm sure is not a big deal. And even if there is a node lying around somewhere, it's not connected, don't worry about it. Go ahead and add a Geo2, connect to your node. Later, you can do like a CTRL-A and you will see everything highlighted and then find it and delete it. I know, right? It does look. It's something so simple, right? I love using Touch Designer for the same reason. And yeah, it is fun. It's simple, and I would love to see your creations on Discord. If anyone's even halfway here, go ahead, put it on Discord. I would love to see what you all create. Is anyone still following along, Rati? Where are we at? Oh, that's sad. Folks, if you can't find Geo, let me show you very quickly how to find Geo. Okay. Click here, right? Tab. Okay, just search for geometry, which is usually in comp. Okay, so in the black one, you should find geometry. Click on geometry. And now you see this is Geo 2 for me. It's Geo 2 because I already have a Geo 1 here. Right? I'm going to click on Geo 2 and hit delete. But you all get the point now. Right? Did that help, everyone? Rati, did that help? It's in the first comp box of your palette. Hit tab and you should be able to select. If tab is not working for you on your workspace, just double clicking anywhere will also get you the thing and you can just switch. So if you can't find something and let's say you're here and you type geometry, right? Geometry. It's not here. So just keep clicking on the tabs around until you see that highlighted word. So I can see there's geometry highlighted here and I'll go ahead and add it. Okay, let me show you. Okay, let me show you how to connect it. So what you do is basically click on noise here, right? When you click on here, I don't select anything. When I have this extended, I click tab. So now when I go here and click on geometry, it's going to automatically add the node to it. Makes sense? So now I've added two geometries. So you can see the entire pattern has become more elaborate. That's it. But I don't want to confuse you, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it, right? So now I'm back to my original pattern. Done? Perfect. I'm so glad you could connect it. Zenian, did that help? Click on the node. So how do you go about it? I'm just going to show it again because I have a lag, so I don't know if you could manage it, but click here, right? So when you get this arrow, don't click anywhere and hit tab, okay? And then go to comp and you should be able to add geometry right here, okay? Let me know when you're done, Zenith. I'm happy to show it to you as many times as you need. And worst case, if you can't do it, you can hop on the stream. We'll let you share your screen and we'll debug it together. Oh yay! Congratulations! You got the Geo connected. Perfect. Did you get Geo 1 too, Zenith? Perfect! Yay! So I'm guessing you had a node somewhere lost in the palette. That's okay. Way to go. So here's what I'm gonna do to make your life a little easy. I'm gonna go to my workspace. Since you all know how cool this looks, I'm just gonna make this small and make sure that you all can see all the nodes clearly, right? So I'm gonna click on the node which has the smallest box here. Circle, noise, geo, com, feedback. Yeah, I think this is good, right? So I'm gonna push this together as well, all of it, so that I can zoom in and you all can see this thing more clearly. Does this help? So now you all can see all the components very clearly and you all can take your time to follow along. Oh, it's very simple. You just click on export and it will create a video file for you, right? So you over here, you go to file, export movie, and that's how simple it is, right? there's a lot you can do with it. So this is actually very famous for having touch based things. You can send stuff over OSC, which is your standard to send stuff on the same IP. And if you do that, it actually has a nice MIDI feel that you can give. So people make a lot of audio and touch based visualization. So the more you touch, the visualization changes. It's very cool, and people do a lot of cool stuff with touch design. I don't know why is it not more famous. It's amazing. Alright, folks. I'm gonna give you all a good 5-10 minutes to play around with this. Okay. I really want to see what you all create. Rati, Zenny, since I know both of you all are following along, definitely do send it on Discord. I would love to see what you're creating. And go ahead, play with the colors, add more maybe materials and stuff. But you all get the point, right? This simple logic here, right? You have a circle, you're deforming it, you're adding some geometry to it, then you're rendering it. Once you render it, you're adding material to the geometry, because that's when you're adding, basically giving it form, right? When you're adding geometry, then you're rendering it. The camera basically makes sure that it goes to your output. From your render, you're creating a feedback loop. You're taking the original input of the render, then you're adding feedback and transforming it and adding it to the original render, and then you're using transform to kind of create a nice form. Over here you can again play with all of these things, right? And then you're giving it to the output which you're displaying here. Make sense, everyone? I'm trying to position it so that you can see all the nodes at any given point. It is used in so many places, Yash. It is crazy. Alright, like I'll show you some stuff that I love, looking at. I'll just keep my Instagram open so that I can show you all right after this. But we do crazy stuff with touch designer. Like I've seen a couple of forest societies use touch designer, so they use the line node to create, their flower animation. It's amazing. There are a lot of people use, create audio reactive stuff because it's very easy. You see how it's taking the transforming so easily, right? People do this with audio, so it's easy to do audio visualization. Makes sense? Oh, there, I'm so sorry. I know it's a heavy software, but the good part is the reason I went ahead and did it today is I am in the process of learning it properly. So the next time I want to take a nice 2-part series where we connect it to a script and we actually do some cool stuff with it. But if you all understand how the nodes work and you all have it, next time it will be easier for you all. So this is very cool. So what you can also do over here is you can import APIs. It's so simple to do that here. Let me see. Let me show you. Right. So if I click on tab here and I go to that, you can see I can connect it to a web client. Over here, it's so easy to just add an API, get data. Then you have something called the XML transforms. You can just take anything in XML and it will automatically parse everything. And yeah, and based on that, you can also connect it to Socket.io. You can see there's a TCP/IP also. I told you about OSC, right? So it's very simple to just get data and visualize the data and make it nice and interactive. You can also connect it to MQTT things, right? MQTT protocols. Pretty cool, no? Even I don't know the extent of it just yet because even I haven't started learning it. But I was trying the weather API with Touch Designer. I got the data. I haven't been able to visualize it just yet. I think lost my stream. Let's find your it. It does it. It is fairly heavy on the RAM, of course, but it's not that heavy. It can run on an HEV one very easily, and it renders it immediately. You can see the moment I make changes to the nodes, the graphics change, right? Especially if I keep the thing running. So you can see there's a play pause button here, right? So if I pause it, it pauses. Now it won't render all the changes immediately. But if I keep the loop playing, right, and I let's say go to my noise and make changes. So play. Ah, what did I do? Okay, there we go. Right, so I was showing her XML and stuff. So I'm going to delete the XML node. Right, and over here, let's say I go to noise and I make changes. So let's say, so you can see it's rendering immediately, right? And you can see the amplitude has become like a flower now. If I increase the offset, you can see the changes are happening immediately. So that's the point. That you can make changes immediately to the thing. Last question again. That is awesome, Tayaba. I really want to see what you create after you're done. Okay, take your time. I'm still available to answer questions on Discord. So just create a ticket and tag me. Okay. Please do tag me because the thing is there are so many tickets being created in GHW. It's hard to keep a track of whether it's for me or not. Alright? Yes, Tayaba, go ahead. Alright, Rati and Zenil, I'm waiting for you all to complete and show me what cool that you all created. I'm having so much trouble breathing. Did I lose my internet or are you typing out your questions there, Abba? I'm gonna pause this for a second. So that's the thing. You can code in it, but I have not, I'm not very confident about it myself, which is why I'm not trying to teach it. We will be doing it next time, right? So what happens is over here, you see there's a Python support here, or if you go here, right, and there's file and there's examples, right? Helps there's Python examples. So if I click on Python examples, you'll see that you can do a lot with Python as well. You can basically add script to anything. You can add a script to anything, and you can, wait, I'll show you. I think it's this. You see here, I can actually install anything I want here, and I can add the script directly to this. So I'm going to go back to my top viewer here. And what I do is I share my screen again to show you all the Python example. I know you would be excited for this, Yash. Let me show you the Python examples. Okay. Share screen, window. So this is the Python example file that they've created. So basically what they've done is they have actually showed you everything that you can do with Python. This is all Python based, okay? So if you go here, right, or anywhere for that matter, or click on it, so you can see that there's a Python script attached here, and you can basically create the variables, extensions that in it, and you can change the script type also. So you have Python example here. You can also make it TypeScript. So you can see here there's a script running. So let me expand this for you. You can see there's a script running here that's doing what it's doing. Or let's go have a look at something else. So execute that, right? This is another script that's running. And basically we're using Python here to do the task. And you can do this for anything, right? So you can see they've done a lot here. So this, there was UI and stuff here a minute ago. So I'm just trying to search that. So there's a button, right? So you can add a button and you can make the button do whatever. They can create entire UIs and make them do certain tasks with Python. All you need to do is attach the script, and you can see you have a script running here which you can use to do certain stuff. Right? So you add a button, you add a script to it, and that's how simple it is. Right? So this was execute that. Now you can see there's tons of stuff that's happening here. There's UI. Let's go to UI. Right? So this is the UI that's happening, and I clicked on it. So much happening over here. So you can control basically everything with Python in this. And which is why I'm really excited, which is why I call it art with code. Sure. So what I'm saying is that yes, you can add code to this, but that's slightly advanced. So what we basically do is once you understand the nodes, right? I'm going to pause this so that it stops taking memory. But basically, you can do a lot of things with this. You can see all of this can be done with Python. So these are all Python examples. This is the example files that I've opened, right? So let's say I go to module tutorials. You can see there's a lot happening here. And because there's a lot of signal processing, Python is a great language to use here. So there you go. So you can see there's a lot of stuff that's happening with the script. So this is all code. You can add a script to anything. So if you go here, tab, there's a script node that you can add to anything. There you see this script. And if I click here and add it, I can basically add Python lines to it. Did that make sense there? But did that answer your question? My internet's really bad, folks. I just done a video on my end. My bad. Right, so you see there's a script that happened that came here, and now there's an entire script already attached to it, a default script, and now you can add whatever you want to it. Right? It's given you the default library. See, there's a NumPy already there. It's given you default variables, and you can do whatever you want here now. Make sense? So you can add literally a script to every component and create something absolutely insane. So I have seen people connect this to a pen plotter and use Python to pen plot things. It's very cool. Does that make sense? Sure. So I'll show you how to do that, Zenil. Alright. Let me quickly share the right screen again. Screen, present, share screen. How to export it. Let me show you how to export it as well. Give me 1 second. And we go here. Alright. So you can see once I add the camera, I just drag and drop my render into it. Make sense? When I add the camera, you just need to drag and drop into it and it'll add. Alright? Did that make sense, Zanine? I'm sorry I missed your question. I'm glad you think so, Deba. I definitely love it. Oh, I did share my screen, but I need to keep doing that. Okay, so take this, drag and drop here and leave it. Right? And that's it. Make sense? Awesome. I'm so glad it does. I'm sorry, give me 1 second, folks. Yes. No, worries, Yash. I'm so glad you could join. And if you're outside, please don't make your phone die out or such stuff. Get home safely and then watch it. I go paranoid if my phone dies out and I'm outside. The worst can happen. Awesome, folks. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna close the stream for now because y'all can tell I'm having trouble speaking a little. But I'm hoping for you all to complete this. If you all have trouble, I'll send you the link to the official tutorial that even I used. Just open a ticket and I'll send it to you. But yeah, if you have any questions right now, that is awesome! Congratulations, Yash. Alright. So great. I will close the stream for now. Is there any other questions I can answer before we close the stream? Thank you. I really need that. I'm traveling tomorrow. I really want to get better before that. Alright, folks. I'm going to give you all another couple of minutes to ask me any questions if you all have any. And then I'll close the stream. No more questions. Okay, I'm just going to keep this thing playing until your last question. If you all don't have any questions. I love the flower technique that we became by the end. So much fun. Alright, Rati, Zenil, I hope y'all complete the thing before turning in today. I need to stop losing my tabs. I keep losing my tabs. Thank you. If you can even share the image of your page, that's awesome. Alright, I would love to see what you all create. If you all want to take a screenshot and show your awesome node work also, that'd be very cool. Right? Alright, sounds great. Perfect. So I will close the stream now. I will see you on Discord. I would love to see what you'll create. Alright. Awesome. Bye folks. I can't wait to see what you'll create.